Kawasaki's Ninja ZX-14R has essentially remained unchanged since 2012. But after recently being discontinued in Europe, and now with a brace of H2 supercharged models above it in Kawasaki's lineup, what can this hypersports tourer offer us in 2021? That's what we're about to find out. The Kawasaki Ninja ZX-14R has a rich heritage of iconic power-packed inline 4 predecessors that stretches back to the early 1970s. It's a lot to live up to, but over its long tenure, the model has done a top job of honouring that legacy. For 2021, however, the big Ninja's days may well be numbered. It was dropped in Europe in 2020 ahead of the introduction of Euro 5 emission standards, and it's overshadowed by its supercharged siblings like the Ninja H2 and H2 SX. Add in renewed pressure from Suzuki's next-gen Hayabusa, and the time for the ZX-14R to be overhauled or dropped altogether is well and truly nigh. Whatever the future holds, the ZX-14R is still a part of Kawasaki Australia's 2021 range, and it still has plenty to offer as a value-packed, high-performance sports tourer. You get a choice of 2 ride modes, plus ABS and 3-level traction control. But there's no IMU, so the safety systems aren't lean angle sensitive, and the cockpit is looking decidedly old school. Don't go looking for a TFT screen, Bluetooth connectivity or push-button starting here. On the plus side, you do get a slipper clutch, Brembo brakes and an Öhlins TTX39 rear shock, along with an accommodating ride position with a comfy seat and reasonable legroom. There are retracting luggage hooks to help tie a bag down on the pillion seat, and a decent lighting package comprising quad projector beams up front and an LED tail light at the rear. But a bike this fast is crying out for electronic cruise control, even just to help preserve your licence, and there's no quick shifter either. It's fair to say the ZX-14R is no longer a technological tour de force, but at this price, it still delivers impressive bang for your bucks. Anyway, that's enough chat. Let's get out there and see how it rides. Despite the passage of time, this monster 1441cc inline 4-cylinder mill still packs one heck of a wallop. It's no lightweight, but with this sort of stomp, a small twist of your wrist is all that's required to turn your eyeballs into windsocks. It's actually really docile at road legal speeds. It's really manageable. There's barely a hint of vibration. But make no mistake, it might be 10 years old, but wind it on even just a little bit, and this thing is still a missile of a machine. With today's policing and modern speed limits, you can get yourself into some serious trouble seriously quickly. It of course won't flick through the bends with the ease of a ZX-10R, but it still gets through the corners respectably well. The chassis and suspension are well up to the task. And the ride position is really pretty comfy, even for bigger riders, with a modest reach to the bars, a compliant seat, reasonable legroom and a decent screen. When it's time to slow the show, the Brembo M50 front stoppers do an adequate job in terms of power and feel, although they do lack initial bite. But it's not exactly frugal, no surprises there, although the 22-litre tank does give a healthy, safe range of around 300 kilometres. At the end of the day, the Kawasaki ZX-14R is showing its age as far as its tech goes, and with the pressure of Euro 5 and more modern rivals, even those within the Kawasaki family, who knows for how much longer it will be with us. But if you're a die-hard devotee of Team Green's naturally aspirated Big Fours and you're after a super fast high-performance sports tourer, in 2021 Kawasaki's Ninja ZX-14R still offers an attractive blend of hard-charging thrills for a relatively modest price. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more, check out our other videos and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.